Hi, this is Everetts Watercolors, and I'm here taking a little video here of my little plein air setup. And it's such a beautiful day. It's we're December 29, and it's over 70 degrees out here in the sun. So again, I'm taking another opportunity to do a little outdoor painting. Today I'm going to do a little plein air setup here. I'm outdoors. I'm going to check here. I've got a sundial in front of me, and I've got my setup here. I've got my palette. Got two new brushes. These are my silver brush half inch and silver brush number 8. These are my plein air brushes, plein air set, and this is my palette with all my colors in here. And I got a little supply of water jug, and up here I've got about a quarter sheet of Gemini watercolor paper. And I'm going to sit here and have some fun. First I'm going to make a little sketch here what I'm doing. I always start out with a preliminary sketch. So I'm sketching the sundial. That's going to be my main subject of interest here, and just a little practice, get the shape of the object. It's got a circular shape at the top, and it's got a long cylinder shape at the bottom of the stand. And so it's important to get the size and dimensions and so forth, and the placement. And then the rest of the composition, there's a little bit of concrete there with an angle to it, which I like the angle, diagonal angle. That's great. And then in the background, I got some foundation on the house, which has got square, and that's about it. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and start mix up little paints here. So the mic should be on, and we'll check that as soon as I have some time to check it out. So I forgot bring my spray bottles out with me, but I always have them with me. So those will be easier for me to put in some of the grass in the background. But I need the water here to get my palette wet. So first, these brand new brushes I have here. These are wonderful. These are silver brush, and these are high quality. These are natural hair, squirrel, but they really last. They really work well. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the sundial going here. So it's got a now I'll mix up a little bit of yellow ochre, a little bit of burnt sienna, and ultramarine. Kind of a mixture of colors. It's just lovely out here. The weather is perfect. It's got sun is shining. It's in behind the clouds once in a while, but if the sun comes out and it's so warm, it's let's say it's above. It must be 70, almost 75 out here in the sun. But I got a little breeze blowing, and it's just a gorgeous day. Just a gorgeous day. Don't paint this old sundial. Just want to have something to look at and to paint. And that's all you need. If you're going to come out and paint somewhere, just find something that you're interested in, and get your brushes out or your pencils out and just start drawing or painting. It's just a good way to relax. So this natural hair brush here, I'm getting a nice flavor on that watercolor. Yeah, it's good. Now the sundial, I think I'll make it a little bit of yellow ochre, and some burnt sienna mixed in there. It's kind of like a bronze. It's like a bronze metal. And of course, it's been in the weather, so it's got kind of weathered, which would darken it up a little bit. Using the edge of that brush just give me a circular. It's not a circle, it's an oval, because it's at an angle, looking at it at an angle. And let's see, the actual part of the sundial it shows. I'm going to put that in a little orange so it shows up a little bit better. But there's the pointer, and then this is the dial that goes around. I cast the shadow on the time. And the base of this has little grooves here, and it's made out of. It's very heavy. It weighs about 50 pounds, so it's really sturdy in the wind. Now, just going to go ahead and play with some of that background color. What I'm going to do here is just put in some of that grass. So I'll just put some water up here, and I'm going to use a spray bottle. This is a fine mist, a little color. Mix up a little bit of Hooker's green. So I'm just playing. This is just getting outside and enjoying the weather. Any excuse I get outside to paint and just have a chance to practice with the brush. Getting outside to do plein air is just a good way to relax and to enjoy painting. Get the brush working, and also practice getting the setup. So I'm putting in the grass here on the other one side and being careful going around the sundial. Adding more of the green colors for the grass. This is a great opportunity for me to practice with my new brushes here with this small practice exercise. Mixing up some more of the Hooker's green and adding a little bit of water from the bucket. Using the larger brush. Horizontal strokes going around the sundial. So these natural hair brushes are working very nicely. Good opportunity to get out here and try them out. Half-inch silver brush, plein air brush. And it's for plein air because it's small, it's very portable, and it's lightweight. So it's just a perfect size brush, and it has a little point on the end here, so I can go in and scratch out certain shapes when it's wet. Now let's see, I think what I'll do is mix a little bit of blue in with that green. What I'll do, I want to get a little bit of blue. Get some color and get some variation in that green. So whenever you're coloring a large area like this, a large area that, you know, got grass or weeds or whatever, now you want to vary the color. Vary the color. If you get a little bit of texture in there to show what it could be, that's even better. But I think the most important thing is to vary the color, get the color change. A little bit of ochre, a little bit of yellow ochre in there because there's some brown grass here also. Not all green, it's got some brown in it, so I'll put a little bit of yellow ochre in there. And that'll also give me a chance to put in some texture. Just using little vertical brush strokes with the flat brush. Oh boy, fantastic. It's warm. I got a long sleeve shirt on. I was going to take it off, but I said, well, I'll leave it on, but you don't need it. It's just, it's almost like summer out here. Okay, it's enough on it. You know, that's grass. And then I've got some background bricks here, which next to the, let's put a little red in here. You know, again, that'll give me another contrasting color. So as long as I get an opportunity to put in any kind of color that I can get a contrast out of, like the green and the red are of course complementary. So that helps with the composition and with the subject matter. So a little bit of, and actually at this stage of the painting, it's just a blocking in. I'm just blocking in the colors and the shapes. A little bit of dry brush. Yeah, pick up a little more color. Boy, that red is really rich. Some more over here. I'm just blocking in the shapes, blocking the areas. This section here has got a little red in it, so I'm just painting the red. And has a nice contrast with the green. It really sets that green off. And I can leave some of the white paper, and it shows a little texture there, which is fine. Now the only part here is the concrete here, which is like a gray color. I'll mix up a little bit of gray. So I can, I'll use my number 8 round. So number 8 round, and I'll put a little spray, a little water here on my palette. This is one of my Plein Air palettes. It's a little bit bigger than my travel palette, but I have several palettes. But this is this one here, and it has all my colors in my normal palette in the studio, because I use the same colors on Plein Air as I do in the studio. So that way you become familiar with the palette. You become familiar with the colors you're using. And if I want to try a new color, this is also a good way to experiment. Is to come out and test what the color does, how it looks. But these are my standard colors I have in my palette. So I'm just mixing up a nice gray with burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. This gives me my standby gray. I like this is the gray I usually come up with. And I want to put some more water in there. I want to water that down just a little bit. Now we'll go ahead with the bigger brush with the 1/2 inch flat and go ahead and put in the light gray here. It's on the concrete here. So putting in the colors. Well, the sun is starting to come out, really. Should also have some suntan oil out here for this kind of weather. But I got a hat on and I got a long sleeve shirt, so no danger of getting a sunburn. And just for a short time. I mean, this is just a sketch. Just play. Just a chance to play with my. Number one, I was practicing setting up my plein air set, and that's always a good experience. Is to, before you do any real serious plein air, where you're really going to go out and do something, make sure you've practiced setting up, get your supplies ready, and get your equipment that you're going to take with you ready, so that when you pack it, you'll have everything ready to go. And I had to set up my board here a little bit better, and I also had to go get my spray bottle. So there was a couple of things that I had left out. So that's something I'm going to make sure I correct. I'm going to leave some of that white showing. Now, well, I guess I'll go in here now and just kind of clean up some of these edges. Just clean up a little edge. You can see it with this warm air, the paint dries very quickly. I put it down and about a minute later it's all dry. Okay. So what I'll do now, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put some more detail on my main subject here, which is the sundial. So I'm going to go in here and put a little more color, and also look at the edges. So I'm using the number 8 round. This number 8 round is a nice little brush. I mean, it comes to a sharp point for detail, and then by brushing on the side, I can also do a broad stroke with it. So it's a nice soft brush. It's like a soft brush. A lot of control. I can get in there and just detail as much as I want to detail the edge. There's some grooves here, and there's some grooves inside. I'm using this little scraper here on my brush to build some grooves in it. And that. Okay, let me put a little shadow under that. A little shadow here underneath the sundial right here. Give it some dimension. And there's a little shadow down here. And what I can do with the gray here, add a little cast shadow. The sun is not real bright. Yeah, it is bright, but it's a cast shadow here on the concrete, so I can come up here and do a little cast shadow. And what I want to do now is put a little darker value on this side here. This side over here is in shadow. The sun's coming down, so I'll put this in shadow. Yeah, there's some numbers up here on the dial which you can't see, but there's the Roman numerals that go around from 1 to 12 for the time of the day. And that's always interesting. And a little definition on the sundial. It's got a little edge, a little shadow here on this part, and there's a little shadow underneath under the pointer. There. Okay. All right. Well, that was. Oh, I'll tell you, the weather is just fantastic. Coming out here just to have a little fun in the sun.